Welcome to Sterling High School. I'm Jarod Claybourn, joined by Mr. Matt Sheehan, and we are looking forward to a return to in-person next week. But before we get to that, Mr. Sheehan, how are you doing, sir?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Well, we are fit to return to school, and we're excited about it. The Sheehan family's hanging in there, and like everyone else, we're eager to get back to basics here, back to school. How about yourself?
Yes, very good. The family is doing well. It definitely is a challenge, no doubt, but trying to keep that routine and keep it positive. Okay, so thank you for calling us. A phone call and email went out yesterday or this week, and so we are confirming we are back on the 19th. That's Tuesday the 19th for in-person following that hybrid schedule. So the big thing is that we're trying to keep cohorts the same as we move through S1, and that change won't take any effect until S2, but we are back on Tuesday, so that's certainly a big day. Now, a big question that something comes up, Mr. Sheehan, is, when we went out, why did we go out in November, and then, what changes, and we're comfortable coming back in now in January?
All right, so again, we're guided a lot by the Camden County Department of Health, the Camden County Department of Education, and oftentimes they want you to make an individual local decision, but based upon group numbers and county numbers. So as we were progressing through the fall, and Sterling High School is different from a grammar school, a local elementary school, whatever it may be, we were affected by a lot of things that took place outside of Sterling High School. There were a lot of positive cases, a lot of close contacts. It becomes a challenge to supervise your building properly. So many schools in Camden County, as we were preparing for the Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year holidays, were anticipating large gatherings, social gatherings, people getting involved with their families, people from out of town, and we were concerned about spikes in COVID and the transmission of COVID. So, out of the 50 some odd districts, I think just about every one of them took some time away, and many of them made the decision to return to school on the 19th. With that, what makes it different now? Well, we don't have those big calendar events where there's going to be gatherings. I can't say that people are going to have individual parties and there could be things that are coming up for those individual families, but there's not a national type event where people are known to get together. So our numbers have leveled off a little bit. Every Thursday we meet with the county Department of Health, the Commissioner of Health. He reviews the numbers with us. We're hoping that we're getting through the New Year's spike now, and then when we return next week, we can do so with the knowledge that we're safe at school. And we always believe that. In-person instruction, no one's going to argue that. That's the best mode of instruction, but we understand under the circumstances, remote is necessary at times, and for some individuals. So we think that we're ready to come back. We know there's still going to be cases and there's still going to be close contacts, but we manage that. We can manage those things, and I think we proved that in the first 11 weeks of school, 12 weeks of school, that we can manage those minor outbreaks. It's the major ones where you got 30, 40, 50, 60 close contacts that really made it a challenge on our building.
So our staff and public have done a great job continuing to communicate with us, and we want to encourage you to continue to do that. You got to give us the information about close contacts, about positive cases. We're still agents of the county, and that's important to protecting our ability to bring in-person instruction. And it's important to note that there's been no, in our school or even surrounding districts, there hasn't been any confirmed transmission of the virus within the school building itself. Athletically, there still has been none in the state of New Jersey where people have contracted the virus by participating in those events. So we believe that we are still creating a safe environment for both our students and staff.
And I think that sometimes people see those letters that come out. It's a template letter from the county that they're asking us to put out to the community just for community awareness. So we didn't do that during the summer months. We didn't do that during our break. But once we get back to school, we'll continue with those template letters just as an FYI, just as awareness, and really it's again, we use that term, we're an agent of the county, so that they can help track and help trace and do everything else. So the questions that we're beginning to encounter as a county: how do we handle people who are vaccinated? How do we handle people who maybe tested positive within the last 90 days? We don't have all the answers to that. And also the CDC put out that they would allow quarantine times for close contacts to be maybe 10 days or 7 days. We're still at a high risk level, right? We're still in an orange level. 14 days is always the recommended. That's the safest, that's always the recommended. The 10-day and 7-day opportunities are for employees. Now, That's the time being. It's employees. If that changes to encompass students, then maybe we'll consider that. But 14 days is 14 days until we hear something else, some more guidance from the county.
All right, great. And so speaking of that, I do want to point to the website. If you go to the main website and you're back up onto the top screen, there is a banner that references the return. So you can click on this banner, and when you go there, you'll see all of the documentation plus these videos. But if I'll point to this one document from the New Jersey Department of Health, and this was the updated document regarding the return to school that was put out on December 22nd. And this is available for all of you to read through. But again, the highlights, as Mr. Sheehan said, is that the 14-day still applies, that we are still in that high orange. But even if we were to move out of the high orange for students, the recommendation is still the best way to limit transmission is the 14 days. So you as parents and families, students, especially if you're an athlete or participating in an activity, you need to understand that that 14 days is going to impact you. So
now, and if I could add to that, your own situation might be manageable where you think you're healthy for the 10 days, but you don't know if you come to school, if somebody's sitting 6 feet away from you, or your teacher who's 20 feet away from you, they could be high risk. And we don't want to bring any more potential transmission into our educational setting. So it's not always about you as an individual, it's about the community around you. So we have to make decisions that are the safest decisions for others around you, and when they go home, that they're also not bringing something to their own home environment. So it's a lot of sacrifice. Sometimes it's inconvenient, but we also have to make priority the safety of and well-being of our students and staff a priority.
So very good. So just continue to ask questions if you have them. But please note, you might, in a business world, parents, you might be dealing with different recommendations or whatever, or you might be following different portions of that CDC guidelines on how long that you have to be out. But for us in the school, for your students, for sure, it's going to be 14 days for the close contacts to be quarantined. So just make sure you're planning that way. Any other questions, make sure you bring it to us. But again, we're back on the 19th. So next week is a unique week in how that week operates. Because it's a holiday on Monday, rather than having a break in that week, we're going right through 4 days. So Tuesday the 19th will be a blue day. Wednesday is going to be silver, and then we're right back to Thursday blue and Friday silver. And then the following week, you have Monday the 25th, and then on the 26th, the PSAT date. That's for juniors only, juniors on campus, in person, PSAT testing that's covered by the district. All other students are going to be completing any final wrap-up of assignment submissions. There will be no live or synchronous instruction on the 26th, but that should wrap up your semester. And then you have the semester break on the 27th, and then we roll right into semester 2 on the 28th. So the big change in semester 2 is we've been talking for a while about offering the opportunity to come increase your time in person if that you feel like that meets your need, whether it's academically or whatever the convenient thing is. So we want to encourage you to kind of make that application, we're calling it. How do you do this? You need to contact your guidance counselor. And by you, it's not the student. A parent or guardian must contact the guidance counselor to make a change of cohort, meaning if you're going to be fully remote to 2-person, or if you're going to go to 2-person or 2-day to 4-day in person, that request goes to your guidance counselor. So let me repeat, you're going to make it by a parent or guardian to a guidance counselor, and it will begin semester 2. And so we want to encourage, we believe that we have 50% capacity of our normal classroom is safe, where we can offer 6 feet separation within those class. And so if you are a student that desires to be here, then we would like to offer that opportunity. It's going to be based on not just individual student, but it's going to be based on that individual student every class. So if in every one of your classes the numbers don't dictate proper social distance, then it won't be approved. And our guidance team is going to assess that to make sure. So you can begin to make those requests now, and again, it goes to your guidance counselor, and that will not be in effect until semester 2. And Mr. Sheehan, you think people will be excited about coming in? I
hope so. I think that there's a time and a place for remote. It's very difficult. You make a lot of sacrifices, but that routine is really important. So yeah, we're hoping that our students will take advantage of not only returning to a 2-day, but also really consider that 4-day option. We're really excited to have the building open. As the weather gets nicer, there's a lot of activities that we hope to have here, and really the building comes alive when the students are here. So we're hoping to see more faces as we get through the spring semester. Wanted to ask you, we have some exciting things going on in athletics, but there's also going to be some challenges there. So I know you and I both took notice this week that our basketball program started practice, and I couldn't be happier. And I know, Mr. Claybourn, we made a point to walk down and watch that. Again, it's just wonderful to see our students on campus with an opportunity to have a sense of normalcy. So what are the challenges as we enter the winter season?
Well, the first thing is, the great thing is that there's an opportunity for them to play. And it's great to see them out there with their coaches and their teammates out there, and they're doing everything socially distant. But the challenge is, we're not allowing locker room access, so it's a challenge for kids to get to practice and back. It's not like a lot of people were just coming to school and then you stayed at school and you stayed for practice. Now you have to get back home and you have to come back. That can be a challenge for some people. And then just the big challenge really at the end of the day is once we get into the competition season, we have games. Unfortunately, we're not permitted to have any spectators. So that's a tough one for parents specifically. But we are encouraged because the district, the board, has put a lot of attention into helping support our technology department, specifically Channel 19. And the Channel 19 team has been working diligently to upgrade their production capabilities. And we just want to give a shout out to Mr. K and his team, Mr. Mays, the maintenance crew that are helping them with all the connections. And we're looking forward to bringing every game to you, hopefully live and ready to go. So if you're not familiar with that and connecting with Channel 19 and it's going to go right through YouTube, then make sure you do it or give us a call and we can make sure you're connected. But certainly a challenge, but thankfully a lot of people have stepped up to give an opportunity.
And you always go back to, we're doing this for kids, right? This is about kids, this is about our students. This isn't a local decision, this is an NJSIA, New Jersey State Department of Health, that only essential members of the coaching staff, the players, are permitted in that gym to participate. And the season is shortened, and we're hoping that we get a full experience. One of the other things that the NJSA has done in conjunction with the Department of Health, they kind of staggered the winter schedule. So this is season 2 is boys and girls basketball, and there is another season that starts for winter track and swimming February 1st, and then there is another season that starts for wrestling and girls volleyball March 1st. So it's different. It's a change. It may not be what we're used to, but it's hopefully a responsible way to bring students safely back to the building and to compete and represent Sterling High School.
It's going to be an exciting time. It's certainly great to see student athletes back on the court. Okay, so just a couple other things. We are finishing up semester 1. I want to encourage you to finish strong. One of the things that's coming up is people are realizing, my earned credit and my absences certainly are counting, and you might be in a situation where you do not have, you're in an NG, no grade. And so a lot of people have questioned medical notes. So it's very important. If you have a medical excuse from being out, you must submit that medical note ASAP, immediately upon return. That should go directly to Mr. Carter, who is our attendance officer at the main office. You can also CC your guidance counselor, but they must be submitted in a timely fashion. If you're trying to submit a medical note from October, that just does not apply at this point. So make sure as you are moving forward that you're doing that in a timely manner. And again, that goes through Mr. Carter. And that could be, especially since you've been home, you could have missed just 1 class or 2 classes and been back on. So it's very much class specific on that. The other thing is class of 2021. We just want to give another shout out and thank you to, look at Mr. Sheehan, he's displaying these awesome socks. Look at that. The parents of the class of 2021 have done a phenomenal job, and they've partnered with local businesses and brought a basket of cheer to our senior class. And we are excited as an admin to continue to partner with this group of parents and Mrs. Epbright and Project Graduation. We're going to work together to make sure that the class of 2021 has a unique and special experience just for them. That the pandemic's not going to put us down, but we're going to make a way that it's going to put it where we're going to have a great year. So look for that information. Look for a special parent meeting we're going to hold via Zoom so you can be most informed on what's going on for the class of 2021. With that, Mr. Sheehan, we're excited to see him. Hopefully, those that are coming in, if not, make sure you say hi to your teachers. Turn those cameras on. Be online. Be on time. and see face to face the people that you're working with. So from Sterling High School, we look forward to seeing you. That's a good night. Go Knights.